Hi, Laura Schultz. Welcome back to our second From the Door to Dinner series video. And in this video, I'm going to show you how the three things that we made last time. I've got some roast vegetables, the cooked brown rice, and some blanched greens. How we can now use these things to make three very different meals. You may notice that I have the things stored in glass containers this time. I myself am trying to transition from using plastic to storing my food in glass. It's less toxic, better for the environment. I've got a few of the other ingredients that we're going to be using, and you see there's not a lot here. What I plan to show you is we're going to make a frittata with the eggs and some of the vegetables. We're going to make a pasta sauce, or a sauce that can be put over many other things with some of the vegetables. And we're also going to make some bean burgers that make a nice sandwich.
The first dish is a frittata using the roast vegetables and the greens that we prepared ahead of time. You'll find this recipe in your week 4 materials, all about different things you can do with eggs.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the garlic, just sauteing some garlic. So the best way to deal with the garlic is just take the clove and put the flat side of the knife on it and just bash it, and then the skin comes right off. So I'm going to do that with 3 cloves. And now I can just sort of give them another good bash, and then just chop them up. And I can always do the garlic down on this corner of my cutting board, and that way this is the only part that sort of tastes and smells garlicky. So I've sauteed the garlic for just a minute or so, and then added some of the roast vegetables and some of the blanched greens, and I'm just going to let those finish cooking the greens a little bit, and this is going to be the vegetables in our frittata. You could certainly use the recipe as it is written in the material that you'll be getting during the last week. Has the recipe for this frittata using baby spinach, and that is absolutely fine, but your pre-blanched greens are a great addition. And you'll notice I'm using a cast iron skillet. Cast iron's great. Once you've used it for a while, it's almost as non-stick as Teflon without any of the toxicity issues. Also, you'll see in just a moment I'm going to be putting this into the broiler. So the cast iron's perfect for that. It can go into the oven under the broiler, and it's will last more than your lifetime. So now that the vegetables have been cooking in with the garlic and oil for a little while, I've scrambled up the eggs. This is just 6 eggs of salt and pepper, and evenly distribute the vegetables over the bottom of the pan and just cover them with beaten egg. Kind of make sure the egg fills the pan, and leaving the heat on low, I'm just going to let this sit until it starts to set. So this is going to take 10 minutes or so for the eggs to start to set here. So that's a perfect time to just go make a salad. And then when the frittata is done, your dinner will be ready. So as the egg is setting up from the bottom, the top is still liquid. You can just sort of cut down through it a little bit and let some of the liquid run under. And pretty soon, when it's just an even coating of liquid on the top, we're going to pull it and put it in the under the broiler to finish it up. So you have to watch it while it's under the broiler. This is not the time to go away and do something else. It will just take a minute or two for that top to get brown and puffy, but you really do need to keep an eye on it. So I've pulled it out of the broiler. The top is brown and puffy. It could just be sliced right in the pan and served. It slices a little better if you just let it cool a tiny bit. The great thing about frittatas is they're good hot, they're good at room temperature, they're good cold, they make a great sandwich with ketchup, so you can eat this for dinner and leftovers for breakfast or for lunch.
The frittata is done, so now we're going to make bean burgers. Going to make a black bean variation. You can make these with any kind of beans in your week 2 materials. You've got lots of ideas for variations with different beans and different flavorings.
So in the bowl of the food processor, I've got the onion, the garlic, the beans. I'm going to put in the egg, chili powder, salt and pepper, and the half a cup of oats. Not in the basic recipe, but a great addition is just some of your blanched greens. They won't really be noticeable in the burger. It's just a good way to sort of pump up the nutrition. So while this is blending up, I'm going to note whether it looks like it's too wet and I would want to add more oats, or too dry and I might want to add a little liquid, some broth or even some water. You can add ketchup, anything to loosen it up. So this is too loose to form into a patty. You want it so that you could take some in your hands and make a patty. So I'm going to add some more oats, just another handful of oats, and process it a little bit more. So you want to be able to handle it and with damp hands make it into patties that we're going to pan fry. I have onion and garlic I've sauteed in olive oil for about 5 minutes till the onion is soft and starting to brown a little bit. Got the rest of the vegetables that I roasted ahead of time. This is zucchini and orange and yellow pepper, red onion, and asparagus. So these vegetables cooked much more quickly than the ones we did in the previous video, which were hard root vegetables like sweet potatoes and carrots. When I put these in the oven,
the 4 burgers will pan fried in some olive oil
till
they're nice and brown on both
10
sides.
minutes.
Then you can serve them
around
in
about
a bun
another 5
with your
minutes
favorite burger toppings,
so
or in
they
a
just
salad
go
with
in.
some of the roast vegetables or any
And I
other
think
salad
the soft
vegetables.
vegetables are nicer.
Now we're going to
nicer
make
than
our last dish,
sauce.
the roast
So I'm just making a
vegetables
really fast pasta
using
sauce
some of the
here.
vegetables we
You
roasted
can also
previously.
have it over brown rice. You can have it over quinoa. But having the vegetables pre-done, you don't have to cut them, you don't have to saute them, so I'm just going to heat them up. I'm using a can of diced, organic diced tomatoes, and that's going to go in. I could season this up with any kind of seasonings that I wanted, any herbs, oregano, basil. You could also top it with some fresh basil. I'm just going to let that simmer for a minute or two to warm up. Now that this has come to a simmer, I'm putting in a can of rinsed and drained cannellini beans. You can also use chickpeas. I've done this with a can of tuna. It was great. You could do some sauteed chicken, anything. Just add some protein and let this simmer a little bit longer. I'm going to taste it for salt and pepper. And then serve it over, as I said, over pasta, over rice, over anything. A grating of Parmesan cheese, a sprinkling of parsley, chopped parsley, or basil over the top, and it's fabulous. And really took about 10 minutes.